Unfortunately, right now in football, if you get racially abused, you have to be the one to stop the game. Not the ref, not the federation, the victim. That's insane. And then Benfica come out and defend their own player after what happened between Vinícius and Prestiani. The system and the clubs are protecting the racists. This just seems like the wrong thing to ask the victim to be the one to have the responsibility to stop a match.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation in how do you even start the process, right? If the referee didn't hear it, then it has to be put on.
That part of the protocol is in, right? Where like the player, if you are racially abused, you go right to the ref. Vini did that.
Yes.
But now the question gets asked to Vini, do you want to stop the match? I mean, maybe Vini, maybe some players have the confidence to say, absolutely. That's a lot of pressure to put on somebody also who is now going through the shock of just being racially abused.
Right. The coach, Alvaro Arbeloa, was saying that he was speaking to Vinícius, and Vinícius did say that he wanted the game to continue. But Vinícius is sadly a vet at this. He knows, he's dealt with it before.
Right.
He knows who to speak to. I'm sure he's read the rule quite thoroughly on like how the protocol is supposed to go. And the fact that he went to the ref and he just wants some sort of accountability, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's even I think what's different about this situation is that people did hear it, right? We know, we'll talk about Prestiani a little bit, and saying he didn't say it, and Benfica defending him and the whole thing. But I think it's a strong statement from Mbappé as well, who said he heard it. He said he heard it 5 times. I'm like, you don't accidentally kind of misunderstand or mishear someone say, call somebody a monkey 5 times.
But are you saying that the rule then, if more than one player hears it?
No. I'm just saying that this is one of the only times where we've had like so much evidence where or witnesses or people coming up and being like, yes, the game needs to be stopped because of this reason. I also heard it, right? And the back and forth. I mean, I don't even understand what Benfica is sort of doing here when it comes to trying to defend this, like claiming that the players weren't close enough to hear what happened. I'm like, why are you even getting in? Like, you could be like, it's like defending your boy when you don't even know if they committed a crime yet, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, all right, it's cool that you're backing him, but like,
don't compare it, because that I would do, right? But I wouldn't be like, saying, if my boy said if somebody said my boy was racist, I wouldn't be like, no, he's not. I would be like, what the hell did you do, dog?
You, at least you look into it, right? Because if, by them putting out this public statement, they're already being like, nah, he's cool. He didn't do anything. And it's like, well, when after everything's investigated, you might also be held accountable, right? Because
they should be. And I think that's an extension of like the rule changes that should happen. If you back your player and you find that he did say something racist, you're also liable. You know what I mean? I think the first thing to do is assume the victim is not lying. I think that's a very clear thing to do first. Second thing I think we should do, a lot of players at the highest level, including Champions League, all wear like that sweat heart monitor tracking device. Sure. It looks like a sports bra, right? That thing. Put a microphone on it.
But all right, Alexis is saying give all the players body cams.
Yo, no, audio VAR at this point, right? If somebody says like, yo, he just said or made a racist remark or made a monkey sound or did this, go back and listen to it. Well, now you can't cover your mouth with your shirt. You know what I mean?
Look, the only thing I feel like you're sort of exaggerating a little bit.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. Okay. There's a certain sense I would imagine of tactical sort of privacy that they don't want to have every single player mic'd up. But I understand what the thing we're asking for is probably not a lot.
But there's microphones all over the pitch.
Yeah, but then it doesn't capture all of the sound that is happening on the field.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like wearing a microphone isn't going to suddenly change your tactics.
I would imagine it would if audio was like publicly available.
Well, I mean, don't make it publicly available. Make it only available to like VAR.
Sure, whatever. I mean, look, I'd rather just have everyone not be racist than do that.
Well, sure, but where's the button to hit that, Christian? I think what we're talking about mainly is the fact that when you are racially abused, it's your responsibility to stop a match or not. I think that rule needs to be changed. Yeah, I think we could all sit here and talk about how abhorrent racism is, and in this situation, it's ridiculous that Benfica's backing, their player when multiple players heard it, and you saw how Mbappé came to his defense during the match, came to Vinícius' defense during the match and in the post game. I think that's wonderful. It shows a unity, especially with Real Madrid, a club that maybe is suffering from rumors of that being lacking, and maybe this is a moment where they sort of form more into a club than they were previously this season. In particular, if the rule is, all right, well, you tell me what you want to do, that's way too much pressure to put on someone who was just racially abused.
It's true.
If someone just went through a concussion syndrome, you shouldn't be asking them, hey, do you want to stay in this game? A lot of times they're going to say, yeah, absolutely, because they feel that pressure of needing to provide for the team or needing to be there for their players. And in a big situation, especially Champions League, the bright lights, this is a big thing to say, stop this match. You feel the 70,000 people all of a sudden staring at you. They paid money. They took time out of the day to come see this event. Now all of a sudden you're the one saying, yeah, stop it, shut it down. It's a lot to ask of someone. So I think that rule needs to be changed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if, the way you're sort of describing it is you're basically saying like that the player that makes the accusation is the one that is stopping the game or saying to stop the game, which I don't exactly... I feel like it's we're sort of, it's like more of a semantic thing. Like what the protocol should be, as soon as the accusation is made, then the game is stopped. Not are you sure you want to stop the game? I know, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
we're in agreement.
Yeah.
The rules should change.
The rule. I mean, what I believe that is already the rule. It's about how it's implemented and enforced. I would imagine that the referee is also feeling some sense of pressure of uncertainty about stopping the game, right? This isn't necessarily a thing that happens.
I think if the referee hears it.
If the referee hears it, right?
Then he can automatically stop.
And the referee said that he did not hear it.
Yeah.
So he's obviously basing it off of what Vinícius is saying. So the protocol, in my opinion, the protocol should be, if a player is coming to you saying this, then that's it, right? How much... We start investigating. The game is stopped, and now we start asking questions, trying to figure out kind of like how to continue or where to continue.
Right.
So
I think if every player is mic'd, as soon as somebody, even if you didn't hear it as a ref, take away the privacy.
Yeah, I mean,
concerns. There's other concerns for microphones.
This is like police state stuff.
But live in a world. Wait, it's during a game. I'm not telling you to wear it on the way home.
I'm just saying. I understand what you mean. But
so wear it for 90 minutes. They're already wearing tracking. I mean, at this point, it's monitoring your heart and your sweat, and you're worried about your voice. There's microphones all over. There's cameras everywhere. I think it's a little ridiculous. But you wear a microphone during the game, right? It doesn't record you. They don't keep it forever. It's not something that other teams can hear. I'm always saying for you because
trusting
you're
Facebook with your data.
Really, during the game, they're pros. This is stupid.
I'm just saying, but
I'm not saying strap an Alexa to your back.
I'm just saying that players say they insult each other. They say awful things to each other.
Who cares? None of that is being monitored. The moment it becomes monitored, if I run to the ref and go, yeah, that guy just racially abused me or another player or something, the ref can go back and hear that part of it, or VAR can hear that part of it. And now there's the investigation. Two things can happen. One, it's proven, they said something racist, you're out of the game. Two, people are saying, oh, if you say something racist happened and they stop the game, that could be used as an advantage. Okay, if you're lying about that, now you're in trouble. And that's it. We don't need Mourinho to come out and say something stupid after the game. We don't need Benfica doing that's not exactly what we heard. Oh, he said he called them, a gay slur, not a racist slur. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's better all of a sudden, right? We don't have that happening. Nothing happens. Now we all know for a fact what happened.
At
the end of the day, it just shouldn't be up to, the point I'm trying to make is it shouldn't be up to the player to sit there and go, yeah, I don't want to keep playing. We should shut this down. There's too much pressure putting on a player, especially someone who's been racially abused.
I don't necessarily, you're talking about the pressure of this decision or making, then if it's too much pressure, then maybe there might be fear in making the accusation to begin with, which I'm sure has existed. Several players, we saw Henry, we saw Michael Richards, we saw so many black players say that they've been racially abused, and they just kind of have to like deal with it or live with it or but it's incredibly humiliating to be talked to that way. And I understand the intention to be like, all right, let's monitor everybody so that we can just be certain about like what happened, which is it opens up Pandora's box of other issues. That's
really does. I don't understand your part. It's ridiculous.
It clearly does. I mean, it's just there are. It's the reason players cover their mouths when they're talking about free kicks or whatever. It's a part of the game of not knowing what the people are saying to each other.
Do you think I'm suggesting to put it on speaker? Everything they're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there is a tactical advantage to people not knowing what you're saying. So I could understand. I'm not saying that it's like inherently wrong to do that or like morally wrong. I'm just saying I would imagine as a player, from a player's perspective, I would imagine they don't want to be mic'd up. I would imagine coaches don't want their players to be mic'd up, and that's it. And that I'm just talking about from the perspective of just playing the game, not an ethical thing. Yeah, of course, it would be like nice to be certain to know if Prestiani said what he said. But in my opinion, we would be certain of what he said if he got in a press conference and said, hey, I did not say that. Not just some tweet, not there was a misunderstanding. Okay.
You'd still believe him if he just said that?
At the very least, he's holding himself accountable. He could say, hey, I said something else. He misunderstood me. But Benfica's not trotting him out and making him do that. He's just being like, no, there was a misunderstanding. This isn't right. It's like, well, if you are so certain that you did not say that, then stand 10 toes down being like, yo, I did not say that. But he is not doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. And sure, that in a perfect world, the player comes out and defends themselves, and then we can figure out through investigation or whatnot. My point is simply, if the rule is going to put the pressure on the player who's just been racially abused, we should figure out another way. And maybe everyone wearing a microphone for privacy for 90 minutes is crazy.
But I mean, yeah, you say
while you're at
figure
work.
out another way. I mean, the other way is, yeah, you're basically saying like, the players shouldn't even go to the ref by saying anything because it's already being monitored.
No, of course not. You listen to what I'm saying. If somebody says something racially and the ref hears it, he could shut the game down immediately.
Right.
If the ref doesn't hear it and a player goes to that ref and says, yo, I was just racially abused, immediately go to VAR and figure out what was said just to prove. Because the only reason I'm suggesting that is because the counterpoint to shutting the game down immediately when somebody says I've been victimized is people are saying, oh, well, then you can gain an advantage. You can stop a game where you're losing by lying about being racially abused. Now there's no question. There's no question about what Prestiani said. Immediately be like, there's proof. And also it holds clubs.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about a player lying about being racially abused.
Me neither.
I can't even.
Me neither.
Why would you? Because
but now there's infallible proof.
But you're describing the exact. There's so many reasons to not even make the accusation because there's so much pressure and you're going to deal with all this criticism. Or you might even be accused of lying for stopping the game or whatever. So there's plenty of reasons to not lie about that. So that's what I'm saying. To go to the degree of like, let's go mic everyone to protect from these concerns seems kind of like overkill and almost pointless. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I guess we. Tell us in the comments what you think.
No, man, it's just it's absolutely awful, and everybody's just handling this so poorly. I mean, the comments from Mourinho make no sense. I mean, blaming him, Vinícius, for dancing, and it's like it wasn't even a huge deal. He's just dancing. It wasn't even that like crazy. Look, Mourinho says he says, quote, when it happens in so many stadiums, always with the same, there is something wrong. Blaming Vinícius.
Well, no, if he would have been like racism needs to be taken away, I'd be like, yes, something is wrong. But he didn't say that.
He says, I told Vini, you scored a wonder goal. Why did you celebrate like that? Why can't you celebrate a goal with just happiness of being a great player? So what are you saying? That Prestiani, it makes sense that he would call him a monkey?
What was she wearing?
Yeah, it's like,
it's ridiculous.
What is the point of making this statement? And it's like, bro, it's just like who was the other person that was describing like other Portuguese, like black Portuguese people, like Eusebio and like I don't know I forgot who it was. Somebody was just like
the history of the club.
Well, it's like they
Luis Sao said that Prestiani doesn't deserve to wear this shirt because the shirt, there's a pride to wearing a Benfica shirt.
Yeah,
and play a club that has so much historically great black players. You can see it here. Given the distance, Real Madrid player could not have heard. I mean, this is ridiculous.
The club itself,
the club itself is.
It's like this is where you just say you simply go, we're investigating and we're looking into it.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's like don't make any brash statement. This is from Prestiani himself. He tweeted, he said, quote, if they keep saying that supposedly I made a racist comment to Vinícius Júnior, then why didn't any of them react? Accusing someone of something serious isn't right, and even less when it's not true. What do you mean they didn't react?
Yeah.
Vinícius.
And everyone is pointing fingers at me. This is a continuation. Everyone is pointing fingers at me for covering up with my shirt when they know that all soccer players cover their mouths to talk. Don't try to make up more.
So what did you say?
Yeah.
What? Just say what you said.
Give us the exact phrase of what you said.
That made him so upset. Just tell us what you said.
Yeah. The whole situation is ridiculous. The only thing I don't like is this idea that it's like, oh, well, if you can't prove I didn't say it, then nothing ever happened.
Right.
It's ridiculous. And it's to the point where, and the frustration I have with Mourinho for many reasons is this idea of like, well, if it keeps happening to you, it's like the problem is society being racist.
Right.
And if that's spilling into the game, which is ridiculous, I kind of love the way baseball handles this stuff. It's like, yo, you do something out of pocket, guess what's going to happen to you the next time you come up to bat?
Yeah.
And I'm not a violent person. I'm not asking for violence. But yo, you got studs on the bottom of your shoe. Maybe it's time to handle it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look. This is obviously going to be something. You know, Prestiani's going to deal with this at some point from someone, and
I sure hope so.
It's a and then it's just like, look, if he did make this comment, right, and he called him a monkey, bro, you have black players on your team. You think this is cool? Like, similar to...
How's it going to be in training?
Similar to...
Also, how do those players feel about Benfica backing this guy?
It's not great.
Or
right?
your coach.
I would imagine... And then on top, Benfica had a fantastic game. Like, this was a fantastic... I mean, 1-0 win to Real Madrid and obviously going back to Spain. Like, you have a real shot at winning this game. And for this to sort of like take up the whole story... so it also reminds me of Enzo Fernandez, when after the World Cup, he's singing the song, making fun of the French national team, the black players on the French national team, and he goes back to Chelsea, and well, he has to address that video to his teammates. He had to apologize. He had to do a whole thing. Like, however you feel about Enzo, he had to address the fact that the song he was singing had. Was either racist or had racist undertones or whatever.
Yeah,
and he had to address it with his team. Prestiani, I would imagine his teammates are like, "Yo, what happened? What'd you say?
Yeah.
What'd you say?" And
talk to me real quick. Yeah.
So it's again, that's what kind of bugs me so much, especially from the fact that it's another player would try to get under a black player's skin in that way. And then you go back to Argentinians and blah blah blah, and it brings up
especially their history with Brazilians. Why you ever ask yourself why Brazil has all the black people and not Argentina? There's a reason for that.
I don't necessarily want to paint with this broad brush about Argentinians, but this is just not great. And how old is Prestiani anyway? He's young.
23, 24?
He's a kid, man.
Yeah.
And then it's like, bro, you I don't know what you grew up around, the way you learned this
now
from.
Your whole history, your whole career is going to have this stank on it.
And then there's a he's 20 years old.
20.
And there's a little bit of how
you can't even order a drink in
Vinícius is like
country.
What, 28, 29, 30 or something like that. Yo, show respect to a dude that almost won a Ballon d'Or. 25 years old. Show some respect.
I don't even care about that.
I mean,
whether you're good or not, I think it's
not even.
How about this? I don't care how annoying a player is. And if I played against Vini, I'd be like, man, this guy's getting on my skin. He's taunting, he's picking at me, he's dancing the whole night. I'd be annoyed. The last thing I go to is the color of that player's skin. It just doesn't mean there's so many other things you can say about Vini.
There's a billion other insults.
There's so many. You can make fun of him for the fact that he set up parties about the Ballon d'Or and didn't win.
That's a better roast.
What did Otamendi do? He lifted his shirt and he showed him the World Cup tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good roast, Papa.
I mean, he could learn a thing or two, bro. But not embarrassing, man. This is just, we'll see. UEFA supposed to be investigating. FIFA supposed to be investigating. Hopefully, I mean, Benfica's not going to investigate anything.
No. Well, everyone you mentioned is always keeping, upholding everyone.
The one thing,
integrity
I was kind of mentioning before about Mbappé, and I think that is the fact that there were other people who heard it, and Mbappé was in his post match post match interview. He was just like,
yeah, he said it all.
He was just like, I'm not even gonna say his name. He doesn't deserve for me to say his name.
Fair.
And then there's also the clip of Mbappé yelling at him on the pitch, calling him a racist to his face. He said it 4 times. So that's like, bro, it's like there's witnesses. There's obviously a lot of people coming to the defense, but the fact that there's another person that can corroborate what Vinícius heard, I think that kind of just says enough. So and Mbappé, speaking like that so publicly, I think is why is especially because it's Mbappé. There's a bit of a more pressure on FIFA and UEFA to actually come down with some sort of punishment,
because
do this is absolutely absurd. Okay.